Welcome to Shenkman Education. My name is Marty Shenkman. The topic of this video clip is common estate planning mistakes. Let's just jump into it and talk about some. This is a major issue. Assuming estate planning is only about death. People make this mistake all the time. There's these ridiculous statements that are dangerous all over the internet and all over public advertising by a lot of firms. Do you need a will or a trust? Well, folks, it's not just about death. You want to plan for your life too. That's part of estate planning. If you're in a profession where you can get sued, and frankly that means everybody, asset protection, protecting what you own is important. Even if you don't have particularly high risk, you're not a surgeon, it doesn't mean you can't get sued. Do you have the right insurance? Have you held assets, or can you change how you hold assets so they're protected if there's a suit or a claim? Don't assume estate planning is only about death. First of all, it's depressing, and then a lot of people don't really follow up. Or people make the assumption that they got a will, they're good to go. Well, do you have proper insurance? Do you have disability insurance, long-term care coverage? Do you have health insurance? Those are all critical to preserving your estate and protecting your future. So look deeper and broader. It's not just planning for death. Next, mistake. Don't rely only on an estate planning attorney for your estate plan. No. I even do that for a living. It's not right. Why? First of all, with very rare exception, your financial plan is the bedrock of your estate plan. If you're spending way too much money than what you can afford, you're not going to have an estate to leave anybody. If you're spending way too much money and you have health issues when you get older, you're not going to have money to pay for care. Do you have long-term care coverage? Do you need it? Do you have savings for that purpose? It's part of your financial plan, but it's also the bedrock foundation, the keystone of your estate plan. You have personal responsibility too. A lot of people, they'll just go to a lawyer, go online and get a document done. I got a will, I got a revocable trust, or they don't even know it's a revocable trust. They just say it's a trust. They're not even sure what they have, and they think they're done because they got a document. You need to write letters of instruction. For example, do your heirs know what you're doing and why? That can avoid a lot of fights and a lot of costly legal battles. Do the people you're naming as agent know where your financial assets are? Do they know what you need done and what bills to pay? There's lots of practical information you need to communicate. The attorney or whatever other advisors you have, that's not really the role. So involve your financial advisor, involve your insurance person, and if you don't have a person, you're doing it online, make sure all those little different pots are connected, because you really want a holistic integrated plan. You can't do one without the other. Another point, can you get all those people in the same institution? I've seen groups where they'll do everything for you. They'll manage your money, they'll draft your documents, they'll do your tax return. I don't love that. I like independence. I like checks and balances. You don't want an issue of, on the good side, just groupthink, right? Everybody's in the same firm and they kind of view life the same way. That may not give you what you need. On the really bad end, some nefarious bad actors, when they get enough control over somebody, they do bad things. I like independence. I like checks and balances. Think about it when you're doing your planning. You don't have to be a Rockefeller to do that. You just need to involve different resources, different companies, different people. Another big mistake in estate planning. I have a great estate plan. Yeah, I did it 5 years ago. It's not that long ago. Well, maybe. Have you had new kids? Have you gotten divorced? Did you make a lot of new money? Did you lose a lot of money? Did you move to a different state? Just because you had the ideal, best, top-notch estate plan on the whole planet in the past doesn't mean it's good now. You got to maintain and feed and care for your estate plan as life evolves. And who can ever say 5 years later, everything's the same? It usually isn't. Health issues, family changes, economic changes. Make sure that you treat this as a living, ongoing process, not something one and done, because it won't work. It won't work. Another major estate planning mistake, and see this all the time. You set up the best estate plan. You got a great trust, but you never use it. You need to understand, you, the customer, the client, the taxpayer, the individual, you need to understand not all the nitty-gritty, but you got to understand the broad strokes, the big picture of what you're doing and what you have to do to make sure it works. So many people sign a document, never look at it, never deal with it. It's not going to work. Example, You set up a trust-owned life insurance to keep it protected because it's a lot of money. You never get the insurance in the trust. Probably useless. You set up a limited liability company to own your family business so that if you get sued, the claims don't reach your personal assets. But you never get the business in there, or you put it in but you don't operate it properly. You just use it like a personal piggy bank. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Another big estate planning mistake. People will often craft an estate plan for today or for a narrow circumstance, or here's what's happening. You may get married, you may get divorced, you may have kids, you may adopt kids, you may not have kids, you may adopt dogs, whatever it is. You want to have a plan that works under broad circumstances. So for example, you may want to leave certain monies to certain people, but what if your estate is much more? What if your estate's much less? I'll give you a terrible example that I actually had years ago. Individual had 3 kids, was very charitably inclined. That's a wonderful, noble thing. So what they should have done or could have done, for example, if it was their wish, they could have left 25%, 1 share equally to each kid in charity. But what they did, and it was actually a lawyer who did this, was shocking. It's an RV backing up, don't mind it. What they did is they left $1 million to each kid, because at the time the estate was worth 4, everything else to charity. When he came to me, it's worth 10 million. So each kid was going to get $1 million and the charity 7? That's not what was intended. Too narrow. If you can find a broader way of doing something, use the broader approach, not the narrower approach. Stuff happens. We'll use a polite term. You've got to be prepared. Your planning, your documents have to take account of that. Your financial planning has to take account of that. You think you're never going to have a bump in the financial road? You know, maybe you were blessed and you'll never have a downturn. Not most of us. You got to look very broadly and you got to revisit it. So these general concepts I hope are helpful to you, because I see these kinds of mistakes made all the time in estate planning. It's not just one and done with a document. Think about all the different points that I made and interpret and apply them as it works for you. Everybody's situation's different. You want what works for you, not what works for somebody else. Thank you for joining me. Remember that all the information is for educational purposes only. Don't take any legal action without appropriate professional guidance. For more information, see shenkmaneducation.com. Thank you.